You're welcome back to the Pulse here on your Joy News channel on your multi-TV. Now, the police have rounded up more than 178 suspected criminals in a swoop to clamp down on criminal activities in Accra. The public relations officer for Accra, ASP Ifyatengi, has been addressing a news conference on that swoop. We'll bring you that video shortly. But Raymond Accra was the man who was at this news conference, giving us the details of that swoop. He joins me now in the studio. Raymond, glad to have you here. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Right, so 178 criminals. What did they do?
Okay, so these are suspected criminals.
Okay.
The police has placed it as mapped as hideouts for criminals. So on the holiday, that's yesterday, the entire region, under the supervision of the new commander, decided that we will go specifically to these hideouts and make sure that we get those, we have all these who have been looking for, and those who are linked to some criminal activities which we've not been able to trace, and those we suspect might be linked to some criminal activities. Then they actually spread out. Virtually every division and command under the unit had to go out and do something. So what they did was that from Odoko straight down there to what they call it, Nima, they all went to the specific areas that the suspected people were hiding. People commit crimes and go to hide. People are being shielded who have committed crimes in times past.
What kind of crimes? Because often the allegation that's given is that if a swoop happens, there are some in there who may not have done anything at all. They may have gone there to go visit a friend, and then they are caught up in the process. What kind of crimes have these 176 committed for which they are suspected?
Okay, so they actually specifically mentioned armed robbery, other forms of robbery, even burglary. They are of the opinion that all of these people failed to do the right thing when they needed them to do the right things, and their Swoop is supposed to target specific areas. They are not just spreading out to any place at all. Places that they have hints, places that they've heard that these criminals are supposed to be hiding. Of course, they are still suspects. So when they pick them up, they screen them. And with the help of the public, sometimes we screen out those people who are just unfortunate to be at the wrong place at the right time for the police and actually got picked up. So it's not end of day yet for these people. Some of them have been already screened and let go. Others actually are being screened. But what they say is that they have actually spread them out to several prisons, depending on the connections you have with which particular crime in ties past. In fact, they cannot list all the crimes they've committed, but top on the agenda is those who were actually robbing people, those who were going to homes, and actually, of course, we know armed robbery is a big issue in Ghana.
Exactly. So let's hear from ASP Ifyatengi, giving us details of that swoop and who exactly they grabbed in this operation.
This was done by organization of operational swoops across the breadth and width of the metropolis. So all the divisional commanders, all the unit commanders, every one of us had to go to the various criminal hideouts where we suspect we will have these criminals. And as part of our swoop, we were able to arrest over 178 suspected criminals. Apart from that, we had over 200 motorbikes. Most of them are unregistered. And even those that have even been registered, they even had fake registration number plates and what have you. We also had pump action, that is 2 pump action weapons, together with a number of cartridges, dried leaves suspected to be Indian hemp. We also had some laptops from some foreign nationals we arrested. Then again, we had some box of seeds that the police strongly suspect was marijuana. And with all these, the suspects that we have arrested, we are going to screen all of them. And those we find in our criminal records, those people, we shall prosecute them for court accordingly. It has been very, very successful exercise, and we hope to continue with this exercise. And it is the duty of the region, and as you have seen, to see that we clear the metropolis of criminals who continue to disturb us and who have vowed that they will not let us sleep. So we will also clamp on them. This is just the first to see. We shall continue to do this exercise until we believe that the metropolis is safe for you and I.
Right, so that's the spokesperson for the Accra Regional Police Command, ASP Ifiatenge, addressing the media on who exactly they've picked up in this swoop. 170 suspected criminals have been picked up. That's not the only thing that they've been busy doing today. We know that case involving the former Black Stars player, John Paintsil. He has been arrested yesterday in connection with a wife accusing him of stealing her car. You have details also on that. What happened today? What have the police done so far on this matter?
So the police said they were ready. They have actually prepared their documents, every single thing they needed to go to court. The only problem was that because of the JUSAC strike, they could not find a single court that would be willing to hear his case. So they had to give him police inquiry bail until the time that the courts will be opened and the man will have his day in court. He will be on police inquiry bail.
So what has he been charged with?
He's been charged with stealing. He's also been charged with assault, and he's also been charged with having to, okay, so they call it unlawful attack on people.
Okay, we can hear from the police on that particular issue.
Not sitting, we all know they're on strike, and he has been granted to bail. So we're expecting that in due course, when the courts start sitting, the police would also proceed to the court for the issue to be brought before the court.
So what are the terms of this bail? Has he already met the bail?
It is a police inquiry bail.
Okay. Let's be clear. Exactly, has he been charged already?
Of course, the stealing aspect that was earlier reported to the police, then again the causing harm and assault that was meted on the police officer.
So, I mean, do we know whether tomorrow you'll be able to take him to court?
I said he has been granted bail.
Yes.
So we are all hoping that the courts will start sitting. Then we'll proceed from there.
So when you go to court, it's dependent on when the JUSAC strike will be over?
What are you saying? The courts are not working, so what do you want us to do? Definitely, yes.
Okay,
He's on bail.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so that's the update from the police on the John Paintsil. He's been given a police inquiry bill until the courts open, and then he will have his day in courts. But let's return to that matter of the swoop and the kind of things that the police have picked up from these suspected criminals. Raymond, I am learning that there are other things they picked up, including some substances, which is a mixture of alcohol and marijuana. Is that
okay? So suspected marijuana mixed with alcohol, I'm told, is a popular form of alcoholic beverage for some people. Of course, if it has illegal products in there, it makes it illegal as well. So the police paraded some of these things. They picked from the hideouts of these criminals.
So those are some of the substances on your screens right now?
Yes. There are two colors. The police could not really explain what the difference in color is. The one which is transparent is supposed to be alcohol, which still has some elements.
Gin?
Yes.
It could be gin.
They said akpeteshi, the local gin. Okay. Yes. And the other one on the other side is what they call, in fact, there are several names for it. When you mix the alcohol with the marijuana, there are several names for it. If you could remind me of any.
I don't know of them. Is that what? Rocker?
Okay.
Shocker? Okay.
Yes. Okay, so those were some of, I mean, the police command that was actually mentioned, some of them, but it escaped me. And they also actually had the marijuana itself in bags and also other things. Early on at the police command, they also show us some cartridges and also one gun. It's a pump action gun that they also retrieved from one gentleman. So they retrieved some of these items. It's supposed to be used as evidence, and some of the criminals also had people's items on them, suspected criminals, of course, had people's items on them when they were sent on the swoop.
So Raymond, for these substances we're showing on the screens right now, the alcohol and the suspected marijuana, did the police indicate what they will do with it?
So this is evidence. If, for example, we want to charge with possession of narcotic drugs, this is the evidence that you possess same. This is the evidence that even you are using that particular drug, if at a point in time you were caught in the process of using it. So this is supposed to be exhibits for the police to present to court.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Raymond. So those are the details of the swoop today. The Accra Regional Police Command has been busy sweeping some 178 criminals, suspected criminals. Yesterday on the public holiday, AU Day, they were busy trying to grab those who've been perpetrating crime in the region. That's for our security update for you today in the region and what's happening here in Accra. Thank you, Raymond Akwa, for those details today. You've been busy with John Paintsil and also the swoop by the Accra Regional Police Command. You've been sending us tons of your messages on the stories we brought you here on the Pulse. Don't worry, after sports, I'll come back and read those comments. Plus, I'll bring a very interesting video about how chasing a flower from a wedding can cost you a bump on a chair or even on the floor. Details after the break and after sports here on The Pulse. Stay with us.